I think we completed up to testing. Okay, so just to revise you what is algorithm, flowchart, and pseudocode. So algorithm means that is a step-by-step process for solving a problem. That is called a algorithm. Okay, step-by-step process. This is an example algorithm for finding largest of two numbers. Okay, so then next one is flowchart. So this is a graphical representation of an steps or graphical representation of algorithm. Okay, so we can draw the diagram like representation, step by step diagram. Okay, the same algorithm will be represented in diagrammatic manner. Okay, graphical representation. This is called a flow chart. Okay, the flow starts from start and getting the input, and like this it will go the flow. The name is called flow chart. Okay, flowing steps flowing. That's all. Okay, it should stop at a end or stop. Then next one is pseudocode. Pseudocode means pseudo means false. False everyone know, right? Then coding means programming. False programming is the meaning for pseudocode. So actually this will be written in the not in a programming language, but it is a simple way of describing a set of instructions. No need to follow any syntax of programming language, but you should know, you should write only with the keywords. Okay, these keywords you should include. For getting input, uh, you have to use input or read. For displaying the output, you should use output or write. Okay, then conditions you can use while, for, if, then, else, like this you should use all the keywords. Okay, it will look like a program, but this is a false coding. Okay, it will not execute. This is not supporting any syntax. Okay, just you are writing steps as a coding by using some keywords. Okay, these are the keywords. Everyone can easily understand these pseudocodes, but it is not a proper coding. Okay, so then we saw about the difference between algorithm and pseudocode. Okay, what is the actual difference? Then coding. Actually, what is coding? It is a implementing logic, algorithm, pseudocode in one of the preferred programming language as per the syntax. Okay, that is a coding. Then testing means we have to check whether the actual software product matches expected output, that is expected requirement, to ensure that software product is defect free. Okay, defect means we should not produce any error. Okay, that is called a defect. So we saw a lot of software testing types. Functional testing, inside there are a lot of things, lot of subtypes are there. Okay, non-functional testing also there. Then maintenance, these are the subtypes of software testing. You can see here functional testing again subdivided into unit testing, integration, smoke. Okay, I told everyone to go through this, everyone can easily understand. So before releasing the particular software, everything will be tested. Okay, for its reliability, scalability, usability, uh, regression, maintenance, errorless, performance, everything will be tested using this list of testing. Okay, then next topic we will go, that is called so after completing coding we have tested. So during testing you find any errors. Okay, that is called debugging. So find error means you will get any unexpected output. Okay, that is called the unsatisfaction. Okay, so how the unexpected output comes means there will be some error in our program. Okay, so in the real life we are calling it as bugs. Okay, bugs everyone know that is an insect will affect us. Okay, so like this, here also they are using the same name, bug, in program. Okay, in software that will creates an error. Okay, so finding the error, finding the location of the error, and analyzing the error. So everything is coming under debugging. Okay, debugging is the concept. That is finding the error and correcting the error. Students understood? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Debugging. Okay. So it is the process of fixing a bug in the software. Bug means error. Okay. Kindly understand. So what are the debugging steps means? 5 steps. First one, identify error, identify the error location, and analyze the error, why it come like this. Then prove the analysis, then cover lateral damage. Okay, that is fixing the error. Okay, everything from finding to correcting, fixing the error, everything coming under debugging. Okay, so debugging means finding the error and correcting the error, everything. Okay, so next one, implementation. So implementation means it refers to process of adopting and integrating a software application into real environment. That is, we are giving that a software product to the real world. Okay, so that everyone can process, everyone can work. Okay, so depending upon their needs. So implementation of new tools and software into enterprise can be complex depending on the size of organization and the software. Okay, depending upon this, the tools will become very complex. Okay, so the implementation methods are different. We are having 4 types. Parallel implementation. Okay, that is when the system is used at the same time as the old system, the two systems are said to be running in parallel, and the new system running at the same time is called a parallel implementation. Okay, then phased implementation, that is when small parts of the new system gradually replace small parts of the old system, gradually it replacing, that is called phase by phase. We are just gradually replacing some old parts. Okay, that is called a phased implementation. Then pilot implementation, that is when a small group of users within an organization uses a new system prior to wider use. Okay, this is called a pilot and implementation. Okay, when small group of users within an organization uses a new system prior to wider use, they will use widely. That particular software will be used widely by the small group of users. Okay, then direct implementation, that is when a new system is implemented without any phased or pilot implementation. Okay, directly they are implementing in a new system. Students understood what are the 4 types of implementation? Parallel means we are using both the new system and the old system. Phased implementation means gradually replacing small parts of old system to new parts. Okay, then piloted means small group of users within an organization uses a new system prior. Direct implementation means so one can use that software in a new system directly without any phased or piloted method. Okay, understood pa? So kindly understand this meaning, that the name, that is enough. Okay, the next we will go for the next concept is decomposition. Okay, these are some basic things you should know before going to start any programming language. Actually, what is program, what is software, why we are going this, how to recover that error. Okay, how to identify the error, how to correct the error, how to test the software. Okay, how to design, everything we are studying in this first chapter. Okay, so here the most important thing is decomposition. Anyone tell me what is actually decomposition means? Students? Anyone? Students, anyone tell me? What is meant by decomposition? The name?
Breaking down.
Atma, tell again. Tikshna Sri.
Breaking down of something, sir.
Yes, breaking down of something. Okay, so that is an entire complex program is subdivided into small, okay, many number of small programs. Okay, this is, if you think this is a one program, we can split this entire complex program into many small programs, and you can work it. Okay, so you can make it this five parts. Okay, see, five or six parts. This breaking up is called decomposition. Okay, so see in this diagram also, this entire first thing is subdivided into two things. Again subdividing into another two, like this it is going to subdivide it again and again. Okay, one big complex problem is breaking into small next level program, then again it is breaking into small simpler programs until it going to simpler, so that everyone can easily understand and everyone can solve. Okay, that is the concept decomposition. Okay, students understood? So until you are easy to understand and easy to give the coding, easy to maintain, that smallest part is called a small block, that is easily understandable. So collection of all the small parts will become a complex one. That is the entire program. Okay. So decomposition means that is a breaking a complex problem or system into parts. That is the meaning. Understood, students? Everyone understood, pa?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here we will see some examples of decomposition. Okay. So if you tell this banking process, banking is the name. If you tell banking means, everyone will confuse actually what is banking. So because this contains lot of applications, okay, lot of things. We can do everything in a banking process. If you go in a ATM means you can see lot of tabs are there. That is a lot of things you can do. You can withdraw money. You can check the balance inquiry, or you can transfer money from one to another, or you can check the availability of money in the particular ATM. Okay, so like this, there are a lot of options available. So everything is commonly, that is combinedly called as banking process, but we should decompose that bank into smaller understandable things. Okay, since banking is a complex thing, so here they are splitting this thing into account creation. This is the first part. Okay, then second part is deposit money. Then third part is withdraw money. So like this, we can split that particular complex one into small, simpler ones. Okay, so this is happening in the real software world. So they are going to create one banking software means their team. Okay, their team can contain five members. Okay, five members. So everyone will split and work it and merge that entire program into one single banking program. So one will take this withdrawal money concept, they will work out everything. Okay, so another one will take deposit money concept. So they will work everything regarding deposit money. So like this, every member of the team will get particular simpler part, so that they can execute very easily. And finally, all the concepts will be combinedly will become a complex program called banking. Everyone understood? Students? Students understood, pa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is related to only banking transaction system. We will see another example. Library management system. This is one software. Okay, so now you would think of this. So what are the things available for library management? What we have to do first, so this entire complex thing is, again they're subdividing. See, entry of the book. So all the books should be entered in the particular library software. Then members entry, that is the users or students or whoever you are using the library, their name should be entered in the log. Okay. Then another separate block for issuing the books. Okay, whoever requiring book, requesting a book, they can give the book with some entry. Okay, that is the thing called issue book part. Okay, so then another one is deposit book. Okay, so like this, some small topics they are splitting and making it as a easy to easily understand, and everyone can easily program. Okay, so this is the concept of decomposition. Okay, one complex thing is further decomposed to small simpler things. Okay, this is the example of library management. Students understood, everyone? Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, then the third example, you can see payroll system. Payroll means that is a salary system in any company, any organization. This is called a payroll system. Okay, so payroll system, that is a one software. How to subdivide it, how to decompose this entire software into small simpler things. Means the first one, employee entry. It should have all the details of all the employees of the particular company. Okay, then working details, that is work hour per day entry. Then pay salary and transfer money into employee account, that is a next subdivision. Then pay slip generation. Okay, after transferring money we should get the pay slip, that is a uh, proof for everyone's payment. Understood, students? This is the example for payroll system. So you should understand actually what is decomposition. Okay, so without decomposition you cannot explain anything. Students, why the decomposition is important? Because you cannot understand the entire program always. Okay, something you have to think it as a small box, then you can understand everything individually, then you can combine it. That will be very easy to understand. So the solving entire thing is very complex. So the decomposition is the main thing. Students understood? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in a real time we know everything, right? For example, what is the formula for calculating the average? Students, what is the formula for calculating the average? Students, tell me. Students, tell me, pa, fast. Students, anyone know or not? Don't know. Tell me. Respond me, pa. What is the formula for calculating the average? Okay, not at all responding. So average you can calculate by total, that is sum of values. Total divided by number of values. This is the formula for average. Okay. So if you think of average means, so now itself I can prove. So everyone thinking like this is a complex thing. Okay, but everyone know how to calculate the total number of total value, that is sum of values, and everyone can easily count number of values. So this complex thing is you have to split it as these two simple things. Okay, first you have to calculate this, then you can perform this operation, then you can easily find average. Everyone understood?
Sir.
Yes. So the decomposition is very, very important. So kindly understand, students, decomposition is very, very important to understand everything easy. Okay, because if you work in this complex way, this will take so much time. But if you split it this entire thing into small, easier things, means you can easily process, and after that you can easily merge all the uh, things into one complex thing. That will be very easy. Okay, so in this first chapter, these are the important things. So once again I will revise, so kindly understand. So actually, what is problem? Okay, so this chapter relating to problem solving and decomposition. Okay, problem solving, first we should know about problem. What is problem? Okay, so whatever we are processing in the real world, okay, whatever we are dealing with the real world, that is called a problem. We need some solution. How to tackle that? How to get the solution? How to find the correct way to process, right? So in computer programming way, so everything can be solved by using programs. Okay, so but before solving that, we should have some idea. That is three things, the basic steps for solving any problem. First one is analyzing the problem. Okay, you should analyze what actually the problem is. Okay, then design solution. Designing itself, it should consider everything, that is algorithm. Algorithm again dividing into two things, that is a flow chart, implement by flow chart or by the means of pseudocode. Okay, and coding, testing, debugging, these are coming under design solution. Okay, finally we should implement that solution to become a particular good software. Okay, so we have learned everything regarding analyzing the problem. That is, what are the data requirements of the given problem? What are the input variable required? What type of input variable? What type of output variable required for problem definition? Okay. So you should understand everything before solving the problem, right? Then design solution. This is very, very important. So without any design or any idea, you cannot solve that particular problem. Okay. So which way you are going to solve? Okay. So for single problem, there is different solutions are there. Okay. So you can solve by many methods, but you have to choose any one method. Okay, so you may have five methods or four methods, but you should choose any simple method. Okay, so this is a simple method, you should choose this one. So for that you need to write an algorithm, and you can design the flow chart, that is graphical representation of algorithm, and you can also write pseudocode. Okay, so actually what is algorithm? This is a logical step by step process for solving a problem, step by step process. So this is the example. You can write all the steps of the particular problem to solve, right? That is first one, starting the problem, starting the program, then declaring the required variables, then reading variables means getting values, that is the input for those variables. Then next step, checking the condition. So this is the largest of two numbers, so you have to check a greater than b. Okay, if it is true, you have to say a is largest number, else b is largest number. Okay, so we got the output here. Next step, you can write stop the program. So that is called a algorithm. So then flow chart. So flow chart, you have to know all the symbols, the terminator symbol, process. Terminator means that is start and stop are the terminators. That is end, front end and the last. Start and stop. Okay. You have to give it as oval shape. Then process, that is for any operation you need this kind of rectangle box. Okay. Then any document or report you are having in a program means you have to draw this diagram. Okay, then decision making, true or false, using this uh, diamond shape. Okay, then for getting input or displaying the output, you need this diagram. Okay, then for flow of sequence, you have to use this arrow symbol. Okay, this is the example for a representation of algorithm using flowchart. The same addition of two numbers. This is the example. So start, read A, read B. Two variables we are reading. And in the operation, by using rectangle bars, you can see sum equal to A plus B. Addition. So after doing that, it going the next statement, that is printing the output. Print sum. Okay, sum is the variable, it holds the value, right? Sum value, it will displaying the value here, and finally end the program. So this is a diagrammatic representation of algorithm. Then pseudocode, that is a third representation. Okay, it is not a programming language. It is simple way of describing a set of instructions that does not have to use specific syntax. No need to follow any syntax, but you should use some keywords. Okay, it look like a program, but it will not execute, and everyone can easily understand this. Okay, so use this kind of keywords for using the pseudocode. Okay, this is an example for pseudocode. Pseudo means false, code means program. False program is the meaning for pseudocode. Everyone noted, students?